Good evening and welcome to the Town of Belgrade Planning Board meeting of September 18, 2025. It is 6:03 and we're gonna have a call to order and have a roll call. Tonight we have present Mrs. Penny Morel and we have Mr. Richard Baker and we have Mr. Nick Sakaro. We also have Mr. Peter Sargent. We have Mr. George Seal, Mr. Craig Alexander, and our CEO, Hans Rasmussen, and myself, Sarah Langet. We have a forum, and with that, we're gonna proceed to the order of the agenda. I'm gonna ask all the presents to please sign this, the sheet, the attendance sheet. We don't have anybody on Zoom, I think. Other than that, so let's proceed then for the first item in the agenda, which is the application for Belgrade Stream subdivision by Tyler Evans. The location is Mill Stream Loop, map 3, lot 3, and the purpose is subdivision preliminary. I think this is probably the third meeting that we have for this project. With that, I'm gonna pass the table to the floor for Tyler to give us some update on what's going on.
Well, thank you. So we have dated 3 plans. On here, and I can put a couple in front of you guys, so you don't have to get out. And these have the straight line tie points for the shore frontage. Located the. Utility poles, anchors. And the existing gravel road.
Yeah.
Yes, you want to, big one? Yeah, it's the same. And I've submitted, everything that was. That's the last meeting, so that's what I. Close out the prelim.
More left.
Yeah, the footage.
Yeah.
But what is it? Back line or? Is it?
We got a quick question here, Mr. Evans. The footage at the top of the line here that is towards this stream. Is that footage is on the black line? On the edge or is, Yeah, it is from the black line. Oh,
I'm not telling you guys. This.
so.
You got it, or you referencing the
This
elevation?
this one, this shot. For this. And it's. Pulled out,
For the frontage along the stream, and then these are the straight line points here.
okay,
Alright, so lot four, for example, what is the, we call it short pin guideline, lot four is 200 feet and 76. 176. Okay, so if you go to lot four here, it says 210 feet. So plus or minus, so,
Above curvature.
so which one do we want?
That's following the shore.
That's following the shore, it's 210 upon the shore.
That's along the shore and straight line distances.
Okay, straight line is 200 and 4, 200 is 0.76 is what, 7 inches like that.
3/4 of a foot.
yeah, it wasn't
Okay.
important.
Right, so that line there, you know,
Right.
is that the black line? It's that, it's the line. So the question is, I think when you shoot, they did a straight line, is what?
There's no line.
Yes, there's one.
So it's straight. Black line, that long. Following the shore.
I thought we're measuring the straight line.
We did,
We
not
have
with this.
like a saw right here in this little box right up at the top.
Alright,
But what they're showing is shoreline, this black line doesn't represent. There's a bit of,
it doesn't,
no,
oh,
it's back.
that's gonna be clarified.
But the table
No,
showed
it shows that right here.
that meets the shorefront
Okay,
So
frontage.
the pin measurement right here, right in this block.
Okay,
okay, we need to be clear, we need to clarify that. Okay. Right.
With respect to what was outstanding. At our last meeting, in terms of having a complete preliminary. Subdivision plan, in addition to the shorefront boundaries. Was, soil test pit data, which we have now that Carver submitted, a medium intensity soils map, which is also in our packet. We also have the mapping from Inland Fish and Wildlife, beginning with habitat that shows there's no significant wildlife habitat or significant natural areas. And the only other thing was the fee payment, which I think you already took care of as well. I believe that's all that was outstanding.
so we proceed to. Vote on completion of the application or?
Well, I have a question because for the board, and Tyler, I can't remember, did we vote to approve the waivers that were requested at the last meeting? If not, we need to do that before we vote on.
I think the waivers were just
No, that's the second round, the
Yeah.
first request for the preliminary plan, and then there was some duplicates for the final, but
Right.
I remember going through them, we talked through them all.
Minutes, it says you approved it. Okay,
Yeah.
all right,
Approve the waiver for 5 items.
okay, very good. So. I think we need to take two votes. One is. That we have a complete application. Preliminary application. And second, to approve the preliminary application. So we have two votes to take.
Yeah.
According to the ordinance.
So I want to take a motion to, approve the submitted application for preliminary.
I'll make a motion that we have a complete preliminary application for Belgrade Stream subdivision by Tyler Evans.
I'll second.
All right, so any more discussions about it?
No,
No, so we're gonna vote. Mr. Sakara,
yes,
Mr. Surgeon,
yeah,
Mr. Alexander,
Yes,
Mr. Seal,
Yes,
and Ms. Rangel is 5 yes, no, 0 no's, so it's approved. Right,
I have a quick question for you, Hans. And this may be just a matter of refreshing my memory. Did the notices that are required by the ordinance for the town to send out to the landowners within 500 feet, did those go on?
They did, all the superintendent, every fire department,
Okay, very good, thank you.
we got a letter back from the fire department. We got it from superintendent or something.
I met Dan out there. He spent considerable time. Maybe Ken's the fire chief.
I'm one of the abutters. So I did receive a notice. It wasn't quite on time, but I did receive.
Did you sign in?
I will. Okay.
We need to provide an opportunity. If she has anything to say to the board. Not quite sure if it's at this point in time or we'll take up the file, but probably sooner rather than later is better.
so the application is approved.
preliminary.
Permanent, yeah,
Yeah, so
so,
maybe before we take a look at the preliminary. I know if we were gonna hold a public hearing, which we decided we would not. That would happen before we took a vote. Provide an opportunity,
wanna do that?
that would be my recommendation.
So, anybody that is in the audience that is in our borders is hoping to make, we're gonna give them a chance to make comments about this,
Or questions.
or questions.
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, mostly questions and I think that they're mostly the Tylers, so I don't know how to.
So, the first thing I would like to know is who you are,
My name is Elizabeth Dodgers.
all right? And, so you are a border, on which end of this project?
I'm on the left.
On the left of it, okay?
Yes,
Yeah.
that's the left.
All right,
Are you guys in the camper?
Yeah.
Okay.
all right.
Nice to meet you.
So looking at the stream, you are on the left end?
That's correct.
The
Right ahead.
lot one,
Correct, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's less than,
so, fire away,
okay.
we'll do our best.
All right, well, I'll start with a few questions. So, I hope not to sound too ignorant, but I just am wondering, Millstream Drive, the paved portion where it ends and it continues on to the dirt portion, I think you've all been there. That's still Millstream Drive. But the town ends at the paved part, so they stop plowing, they stop any maintenance right there. So my question is, it's a bit confusing that it's still Millstream Drive. I don't know if it should be Millstream Extension or something, but I guess my question is, do you anticipate a road maintenance agreement, anything like that? How will the maintenance?
Yeah, that's next step, once I determine what I'm gonna do with these logs. If I'm going to hang on to them, if I was to sell them, then I set up a log association with a road maintenance agreement. But there's a lot that plays into that, whether it stays seasonal or gets shut right down in the winter as it has been.
Right,
So that's something we could discuss, I mean, we could share costs if you guys wanna plow, or if someone too lost in decides to, I mean, that's a fluid conversation.
okay, so that was the next question. You don't exactly know the intended purpose of the lots?
Correct.
Okay. Could they be like seasonal rentals? You don't know. Okay. Do you know if CMP will take, there's poles there, they're not complete, you know, will take those poles?
As far as tying into your extension.
No, we're all tied in, but I mean.
They
is the
have,
road CMP to take those.
yeah, that's all been done and that. Woman that bought the lot on the other end, on the north end, he's done that line extension, that wasn't me.
Correct,
So-
CMP has not taken over, so those were installed by a private pole company.
They have to be taken over, she's through my land through an easement, so she can't keep them private, so yes, that will be conveyed over. Before they tie in, it has to be conveyed to CMP.
Definitely understand that, I just didn't know if they would, because.
They would, they've been on the field engineering,
They have,
been there
okay.
before, yeah, they did all of that work before she had that private contractor, and CMP is a private contractor, been.
Okay,
Yeah, so you'll get reimbursed for what she ties into, and then
Right.
vice versa if I tie in.
right, exactly.
Yeah.
When CMP came down for ours, they had initially indicated that that road may not qualify, because it wasn't wide enough, I know that there was some work done. so
Yeah.
that-
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I talked to your husband on, when you guys first bought that, about the line extension, and not knowing how imminent I was going to do this, and then she bought it on the end. And brought in the extension, so that put all of this on the front burner.
Right, yeah, absolutely, okay. And because you don't know the intended purpose of these lots, I guess just the next question is just vehicles. And I guess you don't know that.
I
You don't
don't.
know if there's gonna be storage children, if we're gonna be very down, then I assume that the fire department and the buses have indicated they can get around that loop down there.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, for now, it's gonna stay as it is, I put the rope up, same as you folks in the. Did again. So nothing's gonna change at all.
Where did I suppress it somewhere? That's part of our ordinance, is to make sure there's a turnaround down there for fire department and buses.
Yes,
And also I just saw some conferences here somewhere, where did I just see?
No mobile homes, no livestock, no unregistered vehicles, just things to protect property.
Yeah.
Seaplane, you had the seaplane.
Yeah, exactly, that was an issue down there, the reason the guys sold your lot was because of the noise complaints from the seaplane next door. So I just wanna go over that, which is done that one.
right. I didn't agree with that.
So there. And that road will need probably a town won't take over. Road maintenance. There, yeah.
Yeah, no, I didn't think that they would, I didn't think that they would. The only other, when all the trees were taken down on the side, it was so wet. I'm sure you know that in June, July. So if you were to do anything, are you gonna be doing culverts for each? I mean, it was out of control before slides and because it was really wet.
Yeah, well, the road's been there for 40 years.
Right, but those trees haven't, those were just taken down for the poles.
Right.
So that was the change.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess that was the question. So if you're gonna put in driveways for each, so you're gonna do the.
Yeah,
All
yeah.
roads and, yeah.
Yeah.
I think those were all my questions. Good, thank you.
Earlier, I have a follow-up question. I mean, we've been focused and will focus particularly when we get to the final application on the design and construction of the road at that point, but you own from where the town road ends to the terminus of the Millstream Drive.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought.
I just have one question of, looking at the soil map. And is it just that I've got a fuzzy copy or do none of us have a clear copy?
Yeah, and it's, you mean reading?
Yeah, I can't,
Yeah.
can't read it. If, we have a bigger map, but
It's caused it must be online, but that's the actual soil test from the site is. As good as. Well, those are estimates.
Is that on our website?
No, it's.
But the, what you sent us electronically, had the legend.
I think it did.
This doesn't, but, you know, identifying the different soil types and
This one here,
no, it was different. I didn't print it off or anything. It was slightly different. I mean, this is exactly what you get from the county or from the soil conservation service, the soil conservation service. But there's a legend that goes with it that identify, yeah, I mean, this is fuzzy, so the other one, I don't remember being so fuzzy. But each of these soil units would be. Give you the type soils, a designation for the degree of slope. I can't remember what the third category is, but. So
You got the soil test that they had from the site. You got that, have you read that happened?
yeah, that was one big email.
Yeah.
Sent forward. Yeah, the soil test pit for on each of the 6 sites, 6 lots. Ma'am, a question for you. Are you currently plowing the Millstream Drive to get to your?
No, we're seasonal.
Oh, okay. So who, just out of curiosity, who's maintaining, are you doing that?
No, that straight part is not, that's a right of way for us, it's so you don't own that for a portion.
Right.
So where the pavement ends, where it goes straight,
Oh, okay, that's right. I remember that from being down there. Okay,
Yeah.
so,
so that's a right of way for our lot and then the back.
okay, so your access is actually directly off Millstream Drive.
yes,
It
Yes,
hasn't been, but the neighbor, George plows it, as a hobby. Neighbors plow, I get 88 acres, they mow it, they plow it, they've been doing it for 30 years before I bought it, so it's been. Just kind of people, if they wanna enjoy it in the winter, kids ride snowmobiles down there. People get access for ice fishing, until the last 12 months, this has been. Treated like a public park of the neighborhood,
right.
so a lot of changes on all fronts, and it's just gonna take some time to. I know, I'm here to work with.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Can I ask a question online? It's Joan King. I was just wondering, what is being done to make sure that the water quality in the stream will be maintained and not affected by the new housing development?
Well, I mean, the ordinances,
Yeah, everything's followed to the T.
anything that they build will have to come before the board with an application and we'll follow the ordinances that have that built into the ordinances.
They'll have to adhere to the shoreline zoning ordinance, which includes.
they won't have to come to us for the houses, but, yeah, in order to get through this process, everything's gonna be to our ordinances. And, so you'll have to supply everything before this gets through, so that's gonna, if we follow anything that he supplies to us, that'll protect the waters. That's,
So far, go back a step, in our prior meeting, we did. Waive the requirements and, the subdivision approval is a 2-step process. There's a preliminary. Approval process and some additional information has to be provided in the final, which we haven't gotten to yet. So, our vote tonight won't be a final approval for this subdivision, but, we did waive the requirements in the ordinance for, phosphorus, estimating the amount of phosphorus runoff and phosphorus control, stormwater control. And a couple others that aren't water quality related, on the basis of the fact that. The only thing that is being proposed is this, division of these lots, the creation of these lots. The road is already in place, and is already having whatever impact it's having. Although it's, well, there isn't a soil erosion control, problem or anything like that. We did 2 site visits and it's very well stabilized. But we need to, we're gonna have to revisit that once we figure out whether or not the road needs to be widened at all. And that comes at the final stage of approval. based on what the fire department recommends to us, and once we get a chance to look at, the design of the road versus the standards in the ordinance for a road of, very low, traffic. So that's the subdivision ordinance. The second ordinance that's gonna come into play here is the shoreline zoning ordinance, so, that is not really, come into play right at this moment. It comes into play when, say, Tyler sells a lot, somebody proposes to build a house there. At that point in time, the water quality standards for the shoreline zoning ordinance come in, or have to be considered by the board before we can issue a permit. That includes stormwater runoff, for example, for the new home, for the new driveway, et cetera. So it's not the cleanest, process, but that's because this is a little unique in the sense that the road and the power utilities are already there, versus a normal subdivision where you're starting from scratch.
Thank you.
That answer your questions, Mrs. Kane?
Yes, thank you.
You're very welcome. Thank you for being here.
So we will actually have to come back in front of us for each house. Right, that's his initial round.
Yes, right, and
So he will have to come back. I was incorrect in saying that. He will have to come back for every house being built.
Unless the map gets changed.
well, and the zoning has to change first too. Right now, it's resource protection.
No.
No, but she can listen.
Yeah.
You got her name now?
Yeah.
Good, thank you. So, so then we proceed now with the second approval.
I would make a motion to, approve, the preliminary subdivision application for, Mill Stream, subdivision.
So I second that.
All right, so we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion?
I have another question because I heard somebody say something, if that's okay at this point, I'm not sure.
Oh, go ahead, please.
Because I heard someone say that's currently a resource protected area or something like that. And I was wondering, why was it protected before and why are we changing it?
All right,
So I'm gonna let Tyler explain that.
So it doesn't meet the criteria for research protection. When they originally drew the map, it's arbitrary line based on aerial data. And in order to be classified as resource protected, it has to meet X, Y, and Z, and we've gone through that at length. To determine that it's not, one of those is floodplain, one is forested wetland, we've done wetland delineation, we've done elevation. Back to the benchmark on the railroad to determine that it's above the floodplain, so it's not uncommon for land to be classified incorrectly. They come into the broad brush. And then it's the responsibility of the landowner to prove what conditions actually exist on the ground. So that's the situation here.
Okay,
And-
thank you.
You're welcome. So you understand that, it was, originally marked that way. But, Tyler came over and, proved to the board that, the conditions that are set by law to be qualified as such, they're not there. So, we have been working with this and, making sure that we document everything that is coming forward to set that understanding. Is that clear your question?
Yes, thank you.
You're very welcome. Any further questions or discussion? Okay, so we're gonna proceed to vote. Mr. Sakara,
Yes.
Mr. Surgeon,
Yes.
Mr. Seal,
Yes.
Mr. Alexander.
Yeah.
And Mr. Angus, 5 yes, no, no's, and the motion carries.
So we're obligated to provide Tyler with a letter that, one, the application is complete, and two, that,
All right. So we're sending. Do we have a formatted letter for that, or that's something that I have to put together?
We'll have to create the letter.
Alright,
And then we're ready to roll into the final.
Maybe you wanna, you gonna get that map? So,
We have the same map, but more copies for the final review.
Yeah.
The only difference is the signature block. I mentioned transparent copies, but they got rid of the Mylar a few years ago, so it's just a, yeah, heavy paper that the registry requires now.
Might be helpful to go over what the ordinance requires. Provided and decisions we need to make for the final approval, because they are slightly different from the preliminary. There's some new information that is part of that. The street design standards and things of that nature. And procedures are slightly different, some of which Tyler's already addressed in the email he's provided.
Correct. In the street, so if the street wasn't built, that would come after approval. So in this case, where the road is built, meets ingress egress for the fire trucks. That's something that will, any work that has to be done will fall on to that to work out, but. That's unique where the roads are already built here too. They don't require those, the road to be built before you approve the subdivision, it's part of the process. Where we already have them existing.
Yeah, but it
Or
still
people
needs to
travel.
meet the standards.
Yep.
And.
And it does.
And I have questions about that when we get to that point. I think it does, but I got some questions. So.
Yeah,
so you wanna kind of do an overview of all the forward steps that we're gonna go through? You know this better than me, I mean, I'm in a position to.
Well, I mean, I'll leave it to the judgment of the board, depending on how familiar people are with the ordinance, you know, it's just that at the conclusion of this, we need to make findings of fact and law. And, if we haven't followed the ordinance step by step, we may run into trouble when we get to that point and have to take votes, just like we do with a commercial development or a shoreline zoning permit, et cetera. So, we just need to be sure that we cover everything that's in the ordinance. Otherwise, we'll have gaps when we get to that we'll floundering around. I mean, as I said, there's a couple of things that are different from the preliminary or added in addition to what's in the preliminary. One is there's another fee, but that aside,
that's what they,
you know, that, there's, written approval of the proposed street name from the town. E911 addressing officer, I assume that's Lorna.
Yeah.
That
it's already established.
that's already, and we have to provide you with some things like a receipt for the application and things like that, but,
Let them all this up.
in terms of substance. And maybe you hand. The receipt. Hans, you said that we have received something from the fire department.
You did.
Have we received, but we haven't received any comments from the road commissioner or. Or the superintendent.
It's to remain private though, that's why we added that language to the final plan.
Yeah, it's just ask for comment, it's not a required letter.
So that, the other thing is that, we need to make sure that it meets all the performance standards. In the ordinance, but the one that, is specifically highlighted is and Tyler's already addressed this, the, performance guarantee requirements, and he's requesting a waiver to that requirement. So that's something we're gonna have to vote on.
Is everyone clear what that is? Any questions
Well,
on that?
so when do we, what are the issue a performance standard, can we cover that now? I mean.
Well,
I'm not familiar.
and
What's the deal?
jump in if I don't quit. It's usually done by a letter of credit from a bank to ensure that the developer has the financial wherewithal to cover the capital costs, like building the road. The issue, here, the road, the utilities, which are the only infrastructure, there's no water main, there's
Yeah.
no fire hydrants,
Okay, all right, I understand. But you have a letter of credit yet established?
I'm requesting a waiver because it's not applicable here.
Well, okay, so we gotta, so we have to make a decision whether or not we're gonna accept that or not, right?
Yeah, at the
Okay.
next round.
Yeah,
Well, do we talk about it now, or do you wanna talk
We don't
about
have, no,
Huh?
it's involved in the final.
it? Okay.
Yeah.
Was it that way?
No, let's not mix it up.
well,
We are
we're
trying to go
going,
through the final right now, though.
yeah, and I'm just trying to outline what's sort of
Yeah,
on.
it's just doing an outline.
Yeah, and so we know what the issues are.
We'll have another meeting for your final.
Why can't we were prepared to do that right now. That was a discussion from last meeting. 'Cause the preliminary was just those 3 items, but instead of coming back with just 3 items. We'll do that and then move straight ahead to the final. So unless there's something that hasn't been submitted. So I don't see any reason why we can't move through the final plan and sign tonight with all the information that's been provided that checks all the boxes for submissions.
So, a very quick question here. We, send notices to all the abutters. But we didn't call for a hearing. We didn't have a notice for a hearing. We usually do the hearing after the.
So,
the application
That hearing
was
is at our discretion.
correct,
Okay,
not necessarily,
And,
not required.
and, I personally don't think a public hearing's needed, but given the magnitude or the lack of magnitude, I mean, others may feel different, but. I mean, if we had a room packed with people, I would feel different, right?
No, we're prepared to go. We've submitted everything. We can just skip to going through like we did for the preliminary, if that's easier to make sure that everything. check all the boxes.
my only concern is a protocolarian part to serve the public. So basically today we complete the application, we approved the first preliminary. And here is basically now we have a formal document that anybody from the street can come and look. Before we did
Yeah,
it.
they had that prior to this meeting. That's how she knew to come. At our last meeting that was recorded, we said we'd go from preliminary to final, so we didn't waste another meeting in the interim just to submit 4 things that you guys have confirmed receipt of. I mean, it's just more efficient. No reason to come back.
It is
We have
for
everything we
you, but
And you guys, everyone's time.
this meeting is for the public. Okay.
And they're here and they've had an opportunity to be here.
So, I made that decision on time.
Yep.
Right, so, I will, leave it to the board whether you guys feel comfortable with it going tonight. My take will be that we're advanced and we're complete with this complete here, this great thing. And I know this is gonna be an annoyance for, Mr. Evans going back for a second, meeting. But, for my take, my perspective will be in terms of the protocol portion of the, events here. Today is the first time that we have a complete document that the public can scrutinize. They all together in one packet, give them 2 weeks for that, we comply with that service to the public, and then we can go to put the last nails in the coffin, so to speak. So if you guys wanna do that tonight, I'm only one pronouncing
Alright,
that concern.
I got, concern just came up. George mentioned that, we need some, a letter of credit, which is, there's a contract to have the ability to do the construction specific with the road, so.
The road's built. Power's
Yeah,
in, that's,
and George. What are your concerns specifically? The road already built, why do they need a?
I don't have any concerns. It's just, in terms of process, we need to vote on whether or not we're gonna issue a waiver to that requirement. It's a stated requirement in the ordinance, but Tyler can request a waiver from it with good cause, and in this
Okay.
case, his justification is that
It's
the
already-
infrastructure is already built, so there's no need for.
So
bundles
that's
of
the
capital.
only thing we have left to do, is vote on the waiver and then.
then move
Well, we
forward.
need to make sure we have everything.
Right.
We haven't gone
Yeah.
through the full list yet. So there, I mean, basically, it's like, just like the preliminary, is it complete? What about the waivers? And the additional item here is, does it meet the performance standards that are in the ordinance? One of which that I have the most questions about is the road, and we haven't, I haven't seen what the fire department submitted or any of that, so,
Okay.
and, I think that it may be that difficult to navigate, but, and then we'll be in a position, if everything's in order, including, the second version of the site plan, which I can tell you right now, there's a couple things missing on this.
Okay.
That are required in a final plan, they being, there has to be a place for the standard conditions of approval. And this project specific standard conditions of approval need to also be on this before it's submitted to the registry of deeds for it to be legal. And that doesn't have, that's not on there. So that, but I think we should see this through as far as we can take it tonight would be my recommendation. So that Tyler knows where he's at. And and we may very well have to come back at another meeting to do the final approval, findings of fact and law, and sign the. But once the, any conditions of approval are
You think we got some time to do that, like if they did?
Got all the information.
I think we can, at a minimum, go through it. So that Tyler leaves here knowing what
What he's missing.
he's dealing with. I think we didn't. Because we did discuss last time, Tyler made it clear that that was his desire. It wasn't that we voted on it or anything like that, but I personally don't have a problem with that myself.
Okay, sounds good.
What do you think, Nick?
Yeah.
Good? Mr. Alexander,
See,
I'm good with that.
go with that?
So just continuing on.
Yes,
Everybody's
I'm
okay with that.
gonna sit back there and follow along.
And I'm just gonna hit the things that are different than what has already been addressed under the preliminary, so that we're not being redundant. And there's one requirement that when water is to be supplied by private well, evidence of adequate groundwater supply shall be submitted by a well driller or a hydrogeologist familiar with the area. My recollection is that Tyler. So we have that from Mark Weeks, Weeks and Sons Well Drilling, which worked for myself. This letter is in regard to proposed 6-lot Belgrade Stream subdivision for Evans Development LLC off of Belgrade. Having drilled in this area, my experience is that the aquifers will produce an adequate water supply for the proposed project. So that's covered. Can't find adequate water next to a stream like that either. Doo-doo. Sorry, just taking me a minute to.
You're in item J.
I'm skipping, I was on item F3. And I'm skipping to, on page 40, item M, which is, because all the other stuff is already provided and at the preliminary stage and is in this second drawing. And that is the street plans meeting the requirements of Article 18, Section 15. And, we have from the fire department in regard to Evans Development Subdivision. Map 3, Lot 3, I met with Tyler at the location on September 18th, 2025, to see if fire trucks would be able to access the road. The road is adequate for fire trucks to use, and the turnaround at the end of the road is large enough for fire trucks to turn around. Sincerely, Dan McKenzie. So there's that. The ordinance standard, and this is just a question for the two of you, if you don't mind. Calls for a travel lane of a minimum, this is for a low volume road of 14 feet, and I don't have a scale, I got this, so it looks to me like it's at least 15 feet. Am I correct about that?
Correct.
Okay. Which is probably why fire chief decided what he did. So I think that the street design standards have been, complied with, is my take. And I believe we have this as well, but this is new since the preliminary, and that is covenants for mandatory membership in the Lot Owners Association, if any, I guess, and draft articles of incorporation of proposed Lot Owners Association, draft bylaws of proposed Lot Owners Association, goes on. And that's all undecided. Is that what I understood from the discussion?
Correct, yeah, so the restrictive covenants that I've submitted, those will go into any transfer deeds. At this time, there's no mandatory membership into a owners association, as I am retaining ownership of the entire piece, so. Not knowing what that's gonna look like, it's just too ambiguous at this point, the law game. There's no common lot to put the tax liability on, there's no clubhouse to share and upkeep. There's no shared cost.
So at this point in time, you're gonna retain responsibility for maintenance.
Exactly. Yes.
So that, here's the house, yeah, and Tyler mentioned this earlier, nature of, this is on the application form, nature of any restrictive covenants to be placed in deeds. No mobile homes, no livestock, no unregistered vehicles, seaplanes require permission from developer. So, as with the preliminary, those were all mandatory requirements, if applicable. So for example, the owners association legal documents, that's not applicable really. But then there are requirements that we can waiver. And those include some of the ones that we wavered in the course of the preliminary. So they include, well, they're a little different. The first one is the name of the certified DEP contractor to see any soil disturbance. I think actually Tyler's already provided that, or if I recall, in the materials that were provided. A second is a erosion and sedimentation control plan. A third is the stormwater management plan, A fourth is a phosphorus impact analysis and control plan. And these are items that at our discretion we can waive. One of the criteria for waiving the phosphorus control plan is when a subdivision will not involve road construction or grading which changes drainage patterns, and if the addition of impervious surfaces such as roads, roofs, walkways, and driveways is less than 5% of the area of the subdivision. And there may be some grading that may occur as a part of maintenance and the like, but the roads there, as we know.
And to add to that, we will have these measures in place for any construction commences, so that goes along with the individual building permits that we have to apply for at the time of any lot improvements. So I'm not looking for, blanket waiver here, it's just that the road is existing, we're not gonna change the drainage patterns, it's not applicable now. As soon as it is, it'll be provided.
Any additional construction would be part of,
Absolutely.
separate.
I mean, I know from I think I stated this before, I know just from the time I went out with Tyler, cause I went on a different day than the rest of you did, but, for the site visit, but, the banks of the road are really well stabilized, they're vegetated, or they have, a lot of wood chips and bark debris on it, so, there isn't any evidence that I saw of soil erosion. And the ditching likewise. My observation. So, and have you requested a waiver from these items a second time, if
I
you will?
did, that most recent email,
Okay, all right, I couldn't remember, I was drawing a
Yeah.
blank.
I did make sure it was in writing.
So we have a waiver requests for those items that I just mentioned, that we need to make a decision on. And, I wanna, see. I just wanna read for the boards and also for Tyler's, benefit, this is under, final approval.
And can you tell us what page you're on, Mr.
I'm
Wilson?
on page 43 of the ordinance.
Thank you.
The, which is Article 10, and I'm under, Section 2. All subdivisions shall be approved with the following standard conditions of approval. These conditions and any special conditions of approval shall be listed on the final plan. And just for your benefit, I'll read them if you haven't seen them for boards as well. The first is, the board approval of this subdivision is limited to that described in the application and depicted in the final plan and other application submissions, except to the extent that the board has expressly indicated in the finding of facts and conclusions of law that certain depictions may be revised by the applicant without further review and approval by the board. Any changes to the application, final plan, or other supporting application submissions must receive prior approval from the board, including but not limited to changes in the location of structures, roads, parking, wastewater disposal, stormwater management, phosphorus analysis, control plans. That's the first one. The second one is, unless a waiver from a specific ordinance standard has been requested by the applicant in writing and approved by the board, the subdivision is required to meet all applicable ordinance requirements. So that,
George. I just got this meeting of the line that you didn't read, I don't know,
oh,
just skipped it or what, it says.
That wouldn't surprise me.
Location of structures, homes, parking. Vehicle road entrance and exit, drinking water wells.
all right.
Did
thank
you see that? Did you read that? I missed.
No, I don't think I did. I think I skipped right over it, so thank you.
Oh. You're welcome.
My haste, and let's see, mean, what I was looking for, but, anyway, in this same article is where it requires that the conditions of approval be part of the, final site plan that's, submitted to the registry of deeds. Um. So. Just to recap, I think we need. To move forward tonight,
Approving the waivers.
we should discuss and vote on the waiver requests. We should, I guess discuss whether we have a complete application. I personally don't think we do, simply because there's no place on the drawing for the conditions of approval, but I also think we should discuss the conditions of approval so that they can go ahead and know what to add to the plan. And besides these two standard conditions of approval, which are on page 43, if any, and I can think of one. That we might wish to discuss, and the final vote and on the final, going through the findings of fact and law and the final vote, I think we'll have to wait to another meeting myself, but the one and only special condition that I think is appropriate, because there's a finding of fact that we need to make that gets to the issue of, does this comply with all town ordinances? I think we should address in a condition of approval that construction on the lots will comply with the town of Belgrade shoreline zoning ordinance, just to have that so that when people are buying these lots and they have a deed search done, they know that right from the get-go.
Yeah, good idea, Tim, yeah. Good.
That would be my suggestion. Because we discussed it in the last,
Final plan.
what's
Are
that?
you suggesting that's written on the final plan?
Yeah, the
That's
ordinance,
standard, any sale on shoreline is on the responsibility of buyer and seller. No, that's in the shoreline zone. I'm not sure what that wording would do on the map.
well, all the conditions of approval have to be on the map, on the site plan.
But it's no different than buying a lot next door to the town office. You'd have to meet any town ordinances to pull a permit to build on that.
You're correct. It's the issue for us procedurally is that we need to vote and make a finding of fact and law that a subdivision and its development complies with all town ordinances. And I personally don't think we can do that unless we, by condition, make it clear to potential buyers that they're required to comply with the shoreline zoning ordinance. I mean, as you recall, we, at the last meeting, decided to separate the shoreline zoning approvals from this and allow the subdivision approval to go ahead. But to be able to make that fissure, I think we need to do something in the way of a condition of approval. It's my personal thought.
I agree with it.
Pretty simple one.
Yes.
I mean, in turn procedurally for you, I realize this causes a delay, but procedurally, you still, it doesn't cause any additional delay simply because you already have to add these standard conditions of approval anyway to the site plan. And if the full board votes to add that another condition.
Yeah.
So it's not gonna cost you more time, a little bit more ink.
Is everybody good with that?
Yeah.
So I would suggest we vote on the variance requests, which are for, again, the erosion the items in, section 3, on page 41, starting at page 41, under required submissions for which a waiver may be granted. They include soil erosion and sedimentation control plan, stormwater management plan, phosphorus impact analysis and control plan. Well, those are the only that are applicable. Which Tyler's already submitted a waiver request for. Did I miss anything, Tyler?
No. Tyler, did you say you have an updated map for us tonight?
We do, yep, we have. Everything that Barry's accustomed to having for final plan review is what found their experience. But this is. The only thing on there, the only thing that's not on there that we discussed tonight is the
Shoreline.
language on the. Requested waivers. I've never seen those on a plan. I've got over 250 acres. I've never seen those written on there. It doesn't. Can't, but that's the only thing.
Did you
We
have-
could have had those.
Did we have requested waivers on the plan or just conditions of approval?
Yeah,
I only picked up on conditions of approval.
Yeah, I don't think the waivers are on the plan.
Yeah.
It's just conditions of
But
approval.
we'll document that in the findings of fact and law, but.
I had a quick question, Mr. Basil. In relationship to the fact that as it is, the information, the public information is that this area is in the resource protection area and that Mr. Evans has proof and evidence that that's an incorrect allocation for that area. How the board come clear that we're not gonna park ourselves in a dispute about that in the future, I mean, coming up, because that's not clear up yet. It's not, that record has not been changed to clear Mr. Evans on that. He's gonna have to go and fight that out
that's,
to a different level.
I spent an hour with Lorna today working through that process. So that's independent from this, but would come into play when I go to pull a permit. To build a structure, to do any construction.
So literally, we have separated that
Right,
altogether from this
from the
process.
foundation, exactly.
So that, again, then what Mr. Seal was talking about, placing in the deed or in the plans, this concept that a person wanna develop anything in that land have to be, again, that's triggering the shoreline zone.
Yeah, that would be.
Will be a good reminder of that and kind of, I would say, I'm trying to, make sure that in this process, the board that is left protected, not in liability zone. Because we know what we know now, but in the future, in 10 years, none of us gonna remember this dialogue. And that's what,
No, but I thought at the last meeting, we basically made a commitment. That this board was gonna pursue a change to, we didn't take a vote. But pursue changing the shoreline zoning for. These parcels.
Correct.
And actually, I think we might wanna include the parcels at either end as well. So that they were no longer, change it from resource protection to limited residential or whatever.
so that liability is on us.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah, that's work for us. I mean, that's not Tyler's job.
Oh, that was a mistake made by the town in the map. That was incorrect. So it's on the town to correct it, but that's not to hold up this.
But then for that same narrative, then we would have to correct it before we allow it to come in.
Oh, we made that commitment last meeting. We had this whole discussion.
Yeah, but how we're making these negotiations among a group of 20 when the public is not aware of this. Kind of,
Well,
we'll be
we're
aware to the meetings, but
I said. We're making a decision to subdivide it.
Right.
no buildings going on.
Right.
It's gonna have to comply with the shoreline zone. And so until that mapping's changed, there's no buildings going on there. So
Well, that's,
he has two choices. He can bring it to the appeals board. Or we can try to change the mapping. So we're gonna have to try to change the mapping. And bring it to vote. The town meeting, because the mapping is incorrect. So, while we're approving for subdivision. Really hasn't got a lot to do. With that resource protection at the moment. But the shoreline zoning will pick that up.
okay, I'm following you on all that. And as long as we all will stick to this commitment, which is a verbal commitment, so to speak. And a verbal talk, it's fine. But what guarantee we have that that's gonna happen, as we're discussing here?
Because it's gonna come back in front of us for a building.
Right. When it goes to build, then it'll
If
come in,
not,
then it'll definitely.
If the
Well-
town votes it down. Then it's up to Tyler.
Okay, let me throw this out there, let me throw it out there. This, the plan is perfect, it's not, if we all hold our ends. And let's say. Something happened that one of the lots is gonna be developed before the map is changed, before the board has completed the job of. Relieving that little green mark in the map to get it stripped out.
I mean, we should go into this with our eyes open. I had hoped we did last meeting, but if we didn't. I mean, this is gonna require us as a board. Along with, and this was the reason for my question to Lorna when she was here, town manager. We're gonna have to contract. There's gonna be a cost to the town. For bringing under contract a GIS mapping company. To do the make these changes. Now,
Okay.
whether that could be done through KV cog, or we have to go back to back to the. Whatever that firm was from New Hampshire that did it last time, or if we, that's why it's gonna mean work for Lorna too. Because we don't get to do the contracting for the town of Belgrade.
But the thing is, the same thing, that's gonna have a time frame. And
Absolutely.
we don't know the time
That's
frame.
when
The time frame can be,
some of the rest of you said we'll have this done by January, I bit right through my tongue. I think that's totally unrealistic.
so it might be 6 months, it might be a year. And in favoring the applicant to give him the benefit of the doubt to move through the project. Then the thing I don't wanna understand is that the development start happening in March and we're not gonna be done to November. This part of the job on the board. So we're kind of shooting ourselves in the foot. Granting all this right now, I don't know, there have to be some kind of a clause.
Yeah.
That there's understanding, as he could, when he said that,
So what I was getting at, if the town votes it down. Then Tyler. I don't know what options he has. He'll have to get some legal advice with that, I guess, but one of the options was to be coming back and turn this back into one piece of property, so he doesn't have to pay taxes on 6 different pieces of property that he can't build on. You know,
Can I take one thing? If, in this, regarding the subdivision at this point, to make a disclosure. That shoreline zoning has to be considered, we really look for a disclosure. Legal disclosure to the prospective buyer and the legals itself. It's made aware to the public, the buyer, prospective buyer, that we made it, this board made it, well, I think it said disclosure. On the deed. That's what it was.
I'm not creating these, I'm not selling these, I'm not selling these, I'm not going and put these on market next month, and that's.
Right.
And anyone that did, even if I went back on my word, they would do their own title search due diligence, they would know that it's in shoreline, all of this stuff would get picked up. I think that was Craig's point, where any of these concerns that we're all circling will be picked up at any future phase, whether it's me, my son, or anyone
I
else.
understand that, but I don't wanna leave
So
the
it's-
town in a liability situation where,
I get it.
you know, we know what's happening, we know what's happening today, but we know what happened in 2, 3 weeks.
Right.
For future time, future events, it can be that, 2, 3 days, you decide, I did this day, sell this out, and the new developer said, oh, you guys approved this, so I can start working on this thing right now.
No, that's the point. There is no liability on the town. We can squash that.
This would only hurt Tyler,
Exactly.
because
He's
he's
the only one
went
that
through all this to subdivide it, and he then.
I'm glad that we have all this clear.
Yeah, only liabilities on it.
Yeah, he,
I
this is
think
only.
Rich had something about the mapping.
Oh, yeah, I was just saying, I'm thinking that, yes, we're gonna have to have CAI or whoever it was revise the map once we, adopt the change. I'm not sure that they have to create a new map or whatever before we could, you know, the proposal could be town of Belgrade is gonna rezone from here to here as resource protection. And develop a map that kind of a draft map that clearly shows what it is. I think we could use that as the basis for going for a town change, and then if the town adopts it, the contractor would have to change that on the official map.
I didn't realize that. I thought we had to have a draft map in place as, you know, for the voters to vote on.
That's my thinking on it, is that if you have defined where it is that you're changing and can show it on the existing map, then once that town votes on it, I think we would then have to go get the map to be changed officially. But I don't think you have to have the official map.
Well, that would,
laid out. I
would,
may be wrong.
That makes perfect sense.
Well,
think
I
that's
mean,
what
we could-
concerns that.
certainly flesh that out, you know, we could ask the town attorney, for example, or Colin
Yeah.
Clark at DEP. Is that how you handled it?
That's how we one time had somebody propose a change in the shoreline zoning for a floodplain area where they had a surveyor show that it didn't meet the criteria, and the town essentially said this lot number 2 or lot map 5, lot 6 is no longer in resource protection, and the town took that to a vote and approved it based on one individual's taking the time and money to show that it wasn't in resource protection.
Okay.
Takes back to situation,
Exactly
right?
going on here. So.
I mean, that would kind of kick the, you know, that would allow the process to go forward and have the mapping go forward, but not necessarily conclude at the same time as the vote
Yeah.
by the public.
But it is gonna have, the bottom line is whatever we come up with, or vote, it's gonna have to have a vote of the town before.
Yeah.
You know, we can't send it.
Right, but worst case scenario, he's stuck with a subdivision that he
Yeah.
can't develop, and then that's really, then you, like Craig said, he'd try to probably. Have some type of recourse where he doesn't have to pay taxes.
Yeah, I'm sure there's.
But it's not, worst case scenario is his worst case scenario, not really ours.
So,
If it doesn't
so
meet the
that's
criteria.
so then, can we put a language to get in the ballot this November? Change that,
Well, it would be a town meeting, so it'd have to be January.
or, that's right, we get this, we have time to do it in January, with that language.
Put some sort of language in there for ballot, get it talked to Lauren to see how quickly we have that.
Yeah.
I think we have time, because it's,
It's not very difficult, what language.
And it's a correction. It looks like it's a correction. You need the criteria for resource protection where you don't. There is no gray area on resource protection. That's why they spell it out.
Yeah.
So this is a correction and
Tyler's pretty confident they're gonna change the map,
Yeah, I wouldn't bought, I
Right,
wouldn't bought it.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
It doesn't meet the criteria.
Right. It's not a judgment call, it's like a finding of
Right,
fact.
I have many, huge expenditure proving
Right.
otherwise.
Yeah, no, I get it.
I think if the town looked at this, or the planning board looked at it and said it doesn't meet the criteria for resource protection, put it to a town vote, and they say we're not gonna take it out of resource protection, and it doesn't meet the criteria in the ordinance, I think Tyler would have the ability to challenge the town in court on the ordinance.
Just the lawyers make money.
That, Mr. Baker,
This is tax revenue.
that's exactly what I'm trying to avoid altogether, and all it starts with this group here. Making sure that we have the right book math path forward to completely avoid that. That's an option, it can happen, we cannot avoid that, but if we make a consensus decision that we are reading the law, that it really, we cannot read it any other way, that it seems that there was an oversight, and we can document all that, and we educate the public about it, it's gonna be hands down that it's gonna pass, it's gonna be a good vote. And that's why re-dialoguing these things and understanding our avenues is so important. And I was not quite clear on how the ball was gonna kick around after we leave here. So we, I'm glad that we dialogue this out.
See how we can have them, requires him to put something like that on the final print and the conditions. When. I just don't see how we can put that on the final print, because that's up to him and the town, and we're just dividing lots, we're not approving any building. The roads are already there. The power's already there, we're just dividing the lots.
Okay.
And so. The building portion is a whole separate
Yeah.
portion, and
Yeah, if we were proving like,
we
you know,
can't put.
development on buildings, it
Issue,
would be an
not
issue.
issue.
He's just dividing the lots, if he can't build it, then, you know.
Okay, the other thing that I have, probably overthinking this, and that's my, that's one of my powers. We are approving this subdivision, or we are almost about to wrap that up. And then we also, as a planning board, suggesting to have a look into this, zone areas, there's not a conflict of interest in there.
No, because if it happens to be a conflict and they choose to not change the map, then if it's.
That, I mean, from us,
Well, yeah,
getting their
I don't-
application and doing this, let's say.
yeah, I don't think providing the lot isn't a big deal.
He's brought it to us and showed us.
Yeah.
that it doesn't belong.
He's paid the due diligence to figure it out.
So
That's
it's
why-
up to us to decide,
Okay,
which we seem to have a consensus,
yep,
that it's not, shouldn't be in resource protection.
okay,
Can we vote, do we wanna vote on that, put it on the record, just so we can stop this round and round, just so we're all in agreement?
yeah, I guess that's what I'm getting at, that's what we're driving
Let's do it.
the horse to. Before approving the application.
Alright, so do you want a motion that,
Well, that's not quite in the agenda though. But what we'll do is we'll put in the agenda for the next meeting
No,
Or-
that's not fair.
before, and then after that, we do the approval of the.
no, I wanna make a motion. That Tyler Evans.
Yeah.
Showed the planning board
Yeah,
that this piece of property should be in resource. And I wanna make a motion that we have a consensus. To the planning board. That this, we agree that this should be in resource protection.
I second that.
Is that two motions or all in one?
All-
All in one.
okay,
Just so we can get agreement.
Yeah, if we vote it down, we vote it down.
so, we have a motion, we have a second on it. Any discussion about it, further discussion about it?
I just wondered, I thought is, whether or not that even needs to be dealt with at this point.
That, I was thinking the same thing.
We've got a subdivision here,
Yeah,
we're approving the lots.
yeah.
Whether or not it's resource protection is not part of the subdivision ordinance.
Right.
But it just.
Well, I agree with
I
that,
agree
but we
with
keep bouncing around and we're
Right.
sitting there muddling in the same stuff without going anywhere.
Yeah, so.
So either we need an answer,
Well,
or
we,
we stop talking about it.
okay, well, I will suggest that we can move that discussion to the next meeting because it's not even agenda. And we wrapped up. This is my meeting time. And, we finalize the discussion of the subdivision. So we'll do that, right? So, I'm sorry about the, zigzag on it, come back to the discussion of the subdivision is finishing.
Are you gonna take a vote on the?
No, we're gonna have to pull back the motions. I will kindly, in this discussion, ask to pull back the motion or
Oh, wouldn't we have to vote on it to pull it back?
we can pull it back or we can vote on it.
We would have to defeat the motion. Wouldn't we?
Yeah, we
Yeah,
made the
it's-
motion, second, we're gonna vote on it.
Okay,
Yep.
so I will make an amendment to the motion. I will propose an amendment to the motion. That we delay the voting table, the voting on the motion for the next meeting. So that's my motion. I need a second on that. No second, so the motion, the amendment go for now, so we have to vote now. So Mr. Baker,
Oh, I'm
He's
not
not
part of
oh,
it.
never mind, Mr. Sakaro,
Yes.
Mr. Surgeon.
Yeah.
Mr. Seal,
Yes.
Mr. Alexander,
Yes.
and I vote no. So four in favor, one no, the motion carries.
I have a question for Craig, just I wanted to make sure, I was kind of only half paying attention to what you were saying earlier. Are you opposed to a condition of approval on the subdivision? That any construction on the lots or alterations to the lots themselves be, since we don't really know what's gonna happen in the future. Comply with the shoreline zoning ordinance. You have a problem with that condition?
No, I mean, it's kind of redundant, that's just gotta analyze, but. I don't see where it's causing that much harm either, so it's,
Yeah, it is redundant, but,
it is redundant.
but,
But
okay, I wasn't sure.
I'm not gonna battle about that, but It doesn't
Friday.
it really doesn't. It's redundant, but it doesn't do any harm, in other words, because it's got a ring with it. What I didn't wanna see was, that this has to be voted on a resource protection put on this.
Yeah,
It has nothing to
right,
do with
right,
it.
no.
So if you're feeling that you wanna put the shoreline zone, that's probably not.
So my suggestion to conclude tonight would be, is that we have a motion and a vote on the waivers.
Yeah.
And secondly, out of fairness to Tyler, so that they know what to put on the final plan, because it's sort of a what comes first, the chicken or the egg, that we vote on a motion regarding the shoreline zoning ordinance, the applicability to any construction or alterations on those 6 lots. So that would be the second item, I would think, and then they could. Because the only thing then that remains is for them to make those changes to the final plan that we sign. By adding those 3 conditions, the 2 standard and the 1 project specific. And then we can we can do the findings of fact of law at the next meeting, and we can approve the plan. The final plan.
Can I say something?
Sure.
The State Resource Protection Act. Probably overrides the town. Well, there's a definition of what's covered by the resource protection. And it's a river, stream, or a brook. Belgrade Stream is right there, that's what gets protected. Not 10 feet or 20 feet or whatever the red line is off the stream, it's the stream that's protected. A note of saying that follows this law. Right? I don't know what the red line's doing out of the stream, it means nothing. You were out there, it's not wet, there's no swamp or anything on the end of that stream on the side.
I guess I don't follow
I
that.
think he's referring to the Natural Resource Protection Act, that's defining what is regulated. And it doesn't, the NRPA, Natural Resource Protection Act, does not supersede the shoreline zoning requirements. They're two separate laws.
Right.
And so I don't think the reference to resource protection in the Natural Resources Protection Act is equivalent to shoreline zoning.
Yeah, no, absolutely not. The other thing too is, we haven't really even discussed, because it's none of our business, the applicability of the Natural Resources Protection Act to any future development on those lots. It may or may not be that when somebody, whether it's you, Tyler, or some other landowner proposes, you know, construction on those lots, they may or may not need to get a permit from DEP in addition to shoreline zoning. That we're not even going that far down the pike. So if we're just talking about shoreline zoning, which is a town ordinance and under, you know, a state law that's separate and different from the Natural Resources Protection Act, which you're referring to in terms of those, you know, where the wetland.
Okay. So we'll move forward with just going over the language that is to be added to the final plan for final signatures.
I make a motion that we approve the requested waivers that we've discussed.
Second. Well, sorry,
And that's good, that's good.
I jumped in.
No, that's good. Any further discussion on that? Okay, we're gonna vote then.
Yes.
Mr. Carroll,
Yes.
Mr. Surgeon,
Yes.
Mr. Shield,
Yes.
Mr. Alexander.
Yes.
And Mr. Langella vote yes, so it's 5 in favor, no opposed, motion carries.
And I would also make a motion that so that they can proceed with the final plan, that we add a special condition of approval that states all construction, clearing, and alterations on lots within shall comply with Belgrade shoreline zoning ordinance. That sound okay to you guys?
Yeah, do you mind just writing that down so I get that language exact on? Send it to me, or you have someone on board to say exactly what's on? Okay, thank you.
I think it reads, special condition of approval.
You're very good at that.
Constructions. Alternate, alterations on lots comply with Belgrade shoreline zone.
Yeah, all construction, clearing, and alterations on lots, on the lots shall comply with the Belgrade shoreline zoning ordinance. I'll give this to you.
Thank you.
And then we have the two
And
standard.
then the two, right, 2A and B,
Yeah,
right on page 43,
Correct,
we want the full A and B.
correct.
Yes.
you need a second on that.
Craig,
It's gonna be.
Craig did.
Okay, thank you.
Any further discussion? Mr. Sakara,
Yes.
Mr. Surgeon,
Yes.
Mr. Seal,
Yes,
Mr. Alexander, and myself, so like this, 5 in favor, no opposed. Motion carries.
If, one question. Is there, if. The majority of us acknowledge that it is an incorrect map that's part of that shoreline zone ordinance, is there any? language that we can add to keep the pressure on the board to move forward with correcting their mistake of the past. So if I put that on the plan, that triggers back, and you guys say, no, we're not gonna take it up, we're not gonna pick it up, or we're gonna do it as part of the comprehensive plan. What assurance do I have that the board's gonna make right on their mistake? Correct this in the time that we have.
Well, we just voted on it. But it wasn't unanimous.
Well. Thing,
I mean, as far as.
I was trying to get it off the map for you, so it wasn't a
Yeah.
red flag.
Cause I just thought, he brought that, I hadn't thought that through, if I'm being asked to put that on there. But there's nothing reciprocal fixing a mistake that I didn't make,
This one.
Tyler, I was making notes, I'm gonna get with Laura tomorrow. To start drafting a letter to exclude. Map 3 lot. From map 3 lot 19 D. To. Map 3 lot 3C.
Yeah.
And 3. To exclude them from the resource protection.
okay? Can we step it back and take off that added language that's not in the ordinance? What?
Can you repeat again what I said in terms of?
The special request to add that each lot, the redundancy that we discussed. I'm not as comfortable putting that on the map, that doesn't seem like a fair request. That's adding something that's not in the ordinance, I'm asked to follow everything here to the T, but that's not in here.
Oh, what, are you saying that your newest has everything but that?
Right, we'll have everything else but A
But
and
that.
B, yeah.
Can we just make that a condition?
I'm not sure I'm following.
I don't wanna add the language that you guys came up with tonight. I wanna add the language that's in this.
You
Yeah,
don't wanna add the shoreline zone on that.
right, that's gonna happen regardless when any,
No, it's redundant, but it's really no harm either.
I'm trying to avoid a problem when we get to having to vote on findings of fact and law.
I'm just worried that triggers that, I don't want to acknowledge that I accept the shoreline zone as being correct, like, we acknowledge that it's incorrect.
That's why I specifically just said shoreline zone, not resource
Yeah, it's not
protection zone.
resource, shoreline.
So
You-
separate
There's nothing you can
ordinance.
do about that.
Yeah,
It's
so-
shoreline zone.
So here's how I see it, Tyler. That just means that if you sell a lot, somebody buys it, and that when they do their title search and their deed search, their attorney is gonna come back to them and say, this is in the shoreline zone, you're gonna need to get a permit. They come here, if they come before the mappings changed, they're gonna learn that, or they go to the Hans, they're gonna learn it's in the resource protection at the moment, we're working to change it,
Right,
so hold off. But, you know, to say that it's in the resource protection, that, would be problematic in its own right, because, our intent is to change that, so that'll be out of date at some point in
right.
time.
How does that help you guys though, adding that? Because it would, anyone buying this is gonna see that it's on the shorefront, it's not gonna be the words on the map, it's gonna.
This is also gonna help you get through the findings of facts, because
Okay.
subject I says conformity with local ordinances and plans is in conformance with duly adopted comprehensive plan development better land use plan. So if we don't put that on the survey, cause that's saying you're gonna comply.
Right,
If that's not there, then there's nothing saying that you will or.
as long as it's not applied to the
Comply.
resource protection, yes, yes.
Currently, you know.
Yeah,
So it's.
yeah,
gonna
no,
get you
that was
to control.
intentional on my part.
Yeah, George is right about that. It's gonna get you to the findings of fact.
Okay,
Well,
Thank you.
great. Without a blemish.
All right.
Do we vote on that?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're wrapped. Yeah. It was a great discussion.
all right, see you in 2 weeks.
All right,
Yes.
you're welcome. So, let's take a quick 5-minute bladder break before the next, item agenda. That is for, pork and cow. Right? Thank you, please, I know that we beat around the bush a lot, but I think when we get to this one.
Yeah, no, it's what you got there.
And the meeting, I'm a little bit confusing. Because, we both kind of need shares.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's probably
Yeah,
more of a problem for you than.
no.
Yeah, I don't, I mean, this, at least with this application, I don't mind because I kind of started it off.
Yeah.
And so I don't mind doing that as long as you're comfortable with it, because I don't wanna, put you in an awkward position.
But we gotta remind everybody that in order to speak, they have to ask the chief inside, and we have, I interrupted Brad.
Yeah.
And it's just because that rule was not clear to him, but next time. Just if you're sharing, you should make sure you remind people that's, of course, speaking, you have to ask you to speak.
At least.
I'm sorry. We made it like a bit of a dialogue, so it's. Session was kind of different. And.
Part of the problem is this is the first time we've ever had a new subdivision under this ordinance.
Yeah.
So this one amount to learning in 1 month.
Thank you for bearing with me.
I know I've had to spend a lot of time with the ordinance.
You be in the right direction there. Need some water. I want water, but I can water bottle.
Yeah, we give it.
You can. Have water in them. You can bubble
Hans,
Yes,
is there any water?
Waters?
no, we don't.
They got a water fountain.
They used to have
They
water
took
from
it
there.
out.
You like salt in that?
Yeah.
It's just what's sort of. So this one, this is the yeah, it might just.
Is ready to rock and roll? All right. The second applicant tonight is, applicant Amy Niven from the Fourteen Cow, location 47 Main Street, map 27, lot 61 and 72. And the purpose is for a commercial development, ordinance review, review ordinance, to change of use to include food service. And we have a, application here that tonight we're gonna be complete. Before starting to that process, I will, give the floor to Mrs. Nevin, and, she wants to say something about the application.
Sure, so, we've got our retail shop, wine, cheese, beer, we have some merchandise, we have coffee drinks on the first floor, and, we had a tenant that was upstairs, a little apartment up there, and she has moved out, so we'd like to renovate that to make the upstairs, a bistro or a wine bar, I guess you could call it. Basically, everything that we're doing in the retail space downstairs, we would do upstairs as an experience. So we'd have a couple of beers on draft, a couple of wines by the glass, and the food would just be wine and, I mean, would be cheese and charcuterie, maybe a baguette, nothing that had to be cooked. And that would basically be it.
All right. So, with that, we have a checklist that we go through to deem the application complete. And so, oh,
I have a question for you and the board. I'm wondering if this is, rather than a full-fledged new application, should be handled as an amendment to an already approved project. Under the provisions of, revisions to an approved plan, which are a little less onerous.
That's what I was thinking, I was thinking we are.
I agree.
Yeah.
What, is there a separate, a different application for them?
No, but it makes clear that we limit our purview only to what is new being proposed. You know, and there isn't any mandatory notice to people within 500 feet. That's at our discretion. There, it starts on, well, I don't have page numbers, so I don't know what it starts on, but it's in section 9. After appeals. I certainly read it off, that would be helpful, but.
can you read some of that, Mr. Seal, please?
Yeah, sure, it's section 9, revisions to an improved plan. 9.1, the planning board shall review and may approve a proposed change to any permit which it has issued in accordance with this article, which involves any of the following conditions. And most of these don't apply. The one that does apply is the addition of activities or change in design, which, and well, I'm sorry, that doesn't apply. A change of use of the property to a use which will generate a higher traffic demand, albeit in this case, maybe not that much, but, it goes on to say that the board may follow notice and meeting requirements if it determines the change to be significant. The review of the proposed revision shall be limited to the impacts of the proposed changes and shall not encompass or burden the original approval. That's basically it. So we would just be looking at this change of this one change on this on the second floor, the change of use of it from residential to serving some
Food service, yeah.
and drink.
Yeah.
A bistro, that's what I was trying to say.
So, with that said, then, you walked me through something new for me. So what will be the documentation that we have to do, just,
Well, like, for example, going through the checklist.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, we need, the application form, but, you know, we don't need the property tax map, the soils map, all those things that were provided in the last application.
You need a
because
motion to
he's
do
gonna
that?
pull the old application.
I mean, you know, I'm just, that's my opinion.
Yeah,
I agree.
well, this,
Nothing else changes, it covers everything else.
yeah,
Do you need a motion for that or just leave it?
I think that would be appropriate, actually. Having a motion to do that, rather than going to the full application, just going to a, amendment of the application, the original application.
I would make a mention, a motion that we handle, the change of use for, for the addition of a bistro to the Cork and Cow be handled as a revision to an approved plan.
I second that.
Any further discussions on that? So we're gonna vote, Mrs. Zakaro,
Yes.
Mr. Surgeon,
Yeah.
Mr. Seal,
Yes.
Mr. Alexander.
Yeah.
And Mr. Erlanger is yes. So it's 5 in favor, none opposed. So, I'm gonna need help understanding that. The requests have been done, they're being explained what's gonna be the change. We still have to go to the, checklist,
I don't think we do.
Yeah.
Myself, I think we just need to focus on those things that are being changed. And how that meshes with the requirements of the ordinance.
so we're gonna have
You know,
to,
so for example. There'll be some additional vehicle traffic and customer traffic. You know, we should look at that. There's no expansion of the building, there's no. You know, maybe parking, look at that, but you know, there's no physical alterations, as I understand it, to the lot itself, the signage, the lighting, or any of those things that we normally look at.
And noise won't apply and all.
Yeah, so I mean, for me, really, I have maybe 2 or 3 questions and that's about it, really.
and then we vote to approve.
Yeah, I mean, I think we need to, go through the, findings of fact and law that are applicable. A lot of them are not going to be applicable. Just to document that, but. Yeah, I think that's right.
I agree with what George said, and I have a question about the parking, whether that's gonna be adequate.
You think,
How many seats
Yeah,
are you
that's the same.
putting upstairs?
10,
10 tables?
yeah,
10 tables, 10 chairs,
10 tables.
tables, okay.
Well,
And then, our parking lot is, has 4 spots, and then we, have another spot that we've kind of just created, like we put some outside tables out this summer. And we're doing some landscaping around those to create a, make it look nice. And, so we've made a little spot on the grass as well, so that's where I park my car, so there's 4 spots just for, customers. And then there's street parking in the front of, on Main, 27, and then the new parking lot that's very close within walking distance, so. I feel like we're okay parking wise. I mean, you can park on School Street as well, we do own property, the property that we own on School Street, you can park on the edge there, there's a fence, but there's plenty of spots for parallel parking there too, if needed, but. nobody has parked there.
Yeah, would you say like an additional 12 vehicles, one vehicle per table?
Yeah.
And then maybe two waiting or something.
Right, something like that.
So your license you're applying for from the state for the alcohol, is it a bar, lounge? What classification?
So my understanding is there's an on-premise or an off-premise alcohol license, and then there's like a dual license where you have both. So we had applied to have the dual license, and Brandy, who was the woman that came out, said that we met all the criteria for that. So she, once we got approval from the town, she said that she had already done all her due diligence there when she checked it, and then she would approve that dual license.
If on off premise?
And you're just waiting for that? Or have you already received it?
Well, we have our the portion, the off-premise portion that we're
But
using right
getting
now.
on premise,
Yeah, so the dual license, she said, was approved. We don't have the actual license until you guys approve the.
oh, that's right, been here before.
So. I know you said 10 tables, but how many seats at each table?
20, 20 total seats. It'd be small little bistro tables. Yeah.
Okay, 20 seats. And plus the outside picnic tables,
Yes,
which are
there's 4.
3 per side, how big are those?
2 per side, I think. They're not huge tables. I think.
They're like 8-foot tables, right?
Yeah, I think so.
So you could put
3 people.
4 people on each side.
I forced
You're
it a
about 2
little
feet
tight.
wide. How about 2 feet wide?
If you're very thin, you can put 4 on each side, but not, not with my hips, I'm not
That's
allowed.
4 tables, 6 occupants. So it's 24,
Okay.
right? So we're up to 44 seats or 44 patrons. And how many employees?
2.
2 employees. So what's the parking standard on?
1 space per, every 2 seats.
So you'll need 20 spaces off, straight right.
Oh, and actually, I forgot, we have one other space. There's a space in front.
So that's off
we
street
have
parking.
4 or 5. We have 6 spaces.
Yeah, with that lot diagonally across the street, I just, that's the advantage of having the public lot.
Or
And the
does it
green-
talk about
green spot.
public lot? The ordinance talks about off-street parking, which would be the lot they have in the back, they could create parking spaces.
Yeah, we'd include that, my reading of the ordinance allows for, giving credit for public parking. Am I wrong?
I haven't studied that far of the ordinance, I don't have it in front of me, so.
Yeah,
I just wanna make sure that everybody gets treated equal.
yeah, no, I'm all aboard with that, does anybody know how the maintenance costs for that lot are being handled?
It's town property.
Oh, that's town property now?
Yeah.
Okay,
But in public.
but it's public.
What's the capacity of the new parking lot?
It's fit.
I don't remember if we approved it.
50,
But I don't remember.
50, parking spots.
Or.
I mean, it-
What's that?
50 parking places.
Oh,
Or is it more?
Oh, 50 then.
But I know we approved right across the street. That the 2 apartments and the studio there, whatever it was. we approved that using the church parking lot.
Right, that's right. They had an agreement with the church park.
Oh.
That's right.
So we have public parking right there, I think. And that was part of the beauty of having that is it's gonna allow the businesses in town.
I was the one question I had and, well, question slightly concerned is in the in your application, you made mention that, larger trucks that are gonna be making deliveries are gonna be picking up a lane on School Street. Do I have that correct?
Well, they can, right now they park in our parking lot in the back. The only. I mean, most of them are smaller trucks. I mean, we do get Pine State and they usually do park in those church parking lot.
Okay.
That's the only like really big truck. The other places that we get deliveries from smaller companies and they have like those vans, delivery vans.
The reason I even picked, bringing it up is in your application, it says, how, question is how often and where will delivery trucks be unloaded, loaded? Deliveries occur 3 times per week, only one of which is a large semi. The large truck parks on School Street, so it does not affect traffic flow on Route 27.
Yeah, I mean, I think he generally pulls into the church, but to be fair, so our parking lot is kind of weird. It's like a square. So he chooses to park over there and he can fit in our lot because our lot is actually like if it was valet parking, there could be, 6 cars could fit, it's like really deep for some reason. I don't know why it's like that. That's just how it's been. So he can fit in our parking lot. He just chooses to do that because he goes around. He doesn't have to back up.
Yeah. The issue for me is, was sort of what Greg alluded to is various, I would have a real hard time approving, using a municipal road or, routine deliveries to
Well,
a
I
new.
can tell him he has to park in our parking lot.
Yeah, I'm just explaining why this is an issue for me, so
Yeah.
that you understand, because it may or may not be on School Street because of kind of road it is, may not be a big deal, but, in other situations it would. And they have a tractor trailer, either sticking out into a more traveled road or using a lane of other municipal road that's more heavily traveled would be a real problem as far as I'm concerned. It's something that we shouldn't be approving, but
And it's not.
we
like
might be able to
huge.
deal with that as a condition of approval.
So. How many deliveries you get now?
Well, from Pine State, just one a week and
So
like,
is it increasing, that one truck, is that increasing?
I don't think so, no. Should increase. And it's not like one of the giant, I mean, I said semi, but it's not like a huge semi.
Like more like a box truck.
Yeah, more like a box.
Well, that definitely could fit in your parking lot.
Yeah, he can fit there. He just chooses not to because he'd have to back up and he prefers not backing up. He goes in the church and then he can just come across the street and then he can just go down School Street and back onto 27 without having the roof.
Well, I think Craig hit on an important point. This is something that's ongoing, and whether we knew it or not, we approved it previously. I don't know what your thoughts about that are, Hans. I mean, the town doesn't have any parking or unloading ordinance.
No, but it's criteria in the ordinance, and you just wanna make sure it applies equally to everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, and he definitely goes to Days and he's parked on the side of the street there. He might be halfway
Yeah.
off the street.
So
And
there's an
he's-
important legal distinction there. Days is a grandfathered
Mm.
business had been there, before I was born.
Right. And to be fair, not to get any other businesses in trouble, but there is a big delivery truck that goes to Hello Goodbye and they park on the street as well. On 27.
Yeah. I mean, if the town really wanted to deal with it, we require, probably, to be honest with you, I could not find anything in this ordinance that really addressed this head on.
But that is gonna be a problem because, the, the economic engine of the town had gone. We have more eateries going on, and this kind of, activity to obtain supplies is gonna increase.
Yeah,
So,
Hello Goodbye, state put parking places in front of that, just because they made them small, their truck can't fit it. That's on the state.
but,
Yeah, I think Craig made the best point. If it's not gonna increase the deliveries, it's already happening now, so.
Yeah, no, I think that's the relevant point.
And I can always ask the church if I can have permission to let them use the parking lot, cause it's only on Wednesday morning, they don't use it on Wednesday.
that's right,
Yeah,
there's no news then.
anyway, thank you, you've answered my question.
My only thought was that I'm hoping North Belgrade should have that problem, right?
Okay, all right.
So your food service is it paper service or plates? Flatware?
It would be, we'd have proper glassware, but the plates would be paper plates and napkins, yeah.
So paper service with wine glasses?
Yes.
Cause I'm just looking at your septic requirements for the new use versus
Yeah.
what you have. And the classifications, you could be a bar, tavern, cocktail lounge, either with or without food. And it streams in this category, they do gallons per day per seat or gallons per day per patron. And you're saying you might have 112 diners per day. Possibly
Okay,
in your calculations,
okay.
which puts you close to 1,500 gallons per day. And your system is, I think, for a 3-bedroom, you're 360 gallons. No,
Our tank, I believe, is 1,000 gallons.
but it's your septic field that would need the expansion. This is the lowest calculation I come up with. If we do the bar tavern at 15 gallons per seat, you're looking at 660 gallons per day. So you have to double your septic field.
Double the septic field. Otherwise, we'd have to half the amount of tables. Or half the amount
You'd
of
have
tables.
to try to fall into a like what Day Store has done with their cafe is they're doing paper service
Okay,
and prepared foods, so everything just gets thrown away. There's no dishwashing going on. And that will bring you down to 7 gallons per seat, so. Compared to you, that would fit into your what you've got.
okay. I mean, we can do
And I'd
that.
have to double check exactly what it is you've got.
Okay,
Cause I think they put in a field for a 3-bedroom house one time and they never built a house.
on that lot.
Yeah.
And the apartment, yeah, so upstairs there was. An apartment, so it had like the shower and there were like 4 people living there. I think 3 people living next to us. And then there was an apartment in the basement too, which we don't use. So those strains are not there anymore. But yeah, we could do that, we could do paper service, and we're not cooking anything anyway, it's just prepared food.
So just to make sure I understand, so the increase in water would come from what, the washing of the dishes?
Preparation of the food.
preparation of food and washing of glasses.
Raise the question again.
I was trying to understand where the additional water discharge, the wastewater discharge would come from, and it would come from the food prep and the washing of, you said glasses,
Yeah, it'd just be
but you're
glass.
gonna be using paper plates and napkins.
Yeah,
Is that
Yeah,
how it
or
works?
by the patrons hand washing.
Oh, right,
So forth.
right, bathrooms.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right, any other questions or things that need to be clarified? Mr. Baker?
Question. Since we're dealing with this as an amendment, not a new ordinance, so that a new application as a whole. We don't have to worry about the public notifications and stuff like that.
That our discretion. So we should discuss that. It's not required, it's at our discretion.
I'm going back to the same, I just went through this in the school board. And actually, in the school board, we don't have a discretion, it's state law that requires a hearing for certain things. But, for me, it's just a sense of having the public, I don't notice that what's going on in their town. That's all. And, if we could as a board and agree on that to honor that, and there's no, especially, I sense from the previous applicant that there seems to be a rush to complete, wrapped up the application. There's a reason for these protocols and, is the public. And I don't like to rush when we're trying to maintain the public informed and be transparent. I think that putting out there the need for the public hearing and having the public hearing, most likely nobody's gonna show up. But if people complain, oh, how come we didn't know this? Oh, well, we have put a notice. You didn't read it? Well, it's not our problem, is it?
I don't hang around the building.
Well, so, that's my take on it. If we can dialogue and then as the board decides what we wanna do. No, that's my, just my opinion.
That's a good thought, yeah, it is.
Do we wanna vote on that? If we wanna have a public hearing or not?
Yeah, you wanna make an emotion?
I will make a motion that we should have a public hearing.
Have a
For the
hearing.
people,
Public notice.
public notice. We should have a public notice about, this particular change for, this commercial, development in town.
I'll second it.
Thank you. Any further discussions on that?
I didn't get the motion.
The motion is that I propose that the planning board, proceed with the public notice for the amendments done to, the present, commercial place, Cork and Cow, to include food service.
Well, it already has food service, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's talking about
Additional food.
Additional
yeah,
food
yeah,
service.
food service and alcohol consumption.
Okay. You wanna say anything about the second floor expansion?
Well, that's what would be on the second floor would be, as I understand it, correct me if I'm
That
wrong,
would be on the second floor.
be where the bistro is located. Maybe I'll just use the term bistro.
There, that works.
So we,
We had a motion and a second. Get down. Any further discussion? No, so we're gonna vote now. Mr. Sagara.
sure.
Second. All right, Mr. Seal,
Yes.
Mr. Alexander.
Yeah. Did we take-
I took everybody's on.
Well,
Yeah.
You say no?
I'm wondering, did we do for Hello Goodbye? We didn't do it, did we?
Maybe because at that point, I am gonna make this little point on this thing, where we are at. At that point, I didn't realize the importance of notices in our community. So at that point, I made the best decision I could with my understanding of things. But since they're here, I can tell you that having public notice and making sure that we're clear and transparent with the community in this public servant job is very, very important. So that's why I'm so adamant about it now. I know that I wanted to give benefits and no benefits to others. And I hope that the applicant understand this too. It's for the good of the community and for the good of all of us. So I'm not trying to favor or disfavor anybody. That will be my only point. But if you want to vote no, you're welcome to vote no. I'm okay with that.
I don't think a public notice is gonna hurt anything. I think people are gonna be in favor of this. It's a very low impact. Service for the people that people will enjoy.
So you're voting yes or no?
Oh, yes.
Thank you. So 5 years, I said I only vote yes.
4 yeses and a shirt.
I know we already.
We officially been closing, but it's 5 yeses. No, motion carries.
Rich had a comment.
I know we already voted on it and it's over and everything, but just a comment, my thought on it was, there's probably perhaps more impact in terms of use and stuff with adding the current proposal than what the actual approval we gave initially, and that's why I would have voted that way too.
Thank you. So, that said then, we have to go through a finding of facts and, conclusion of law.
Well, if we're giving notice, then we need to do that, and
We didn't give any notice, we didn't have to do it.
well, I mean, Hans is gonna send it out, and we, at our next meeting is when if anybody's interested enough to show up, so we can't do the findings of fact
Okay.
on tonight.
No, sorry.
And,
I hope you're okay with that.
and, this is sort of a question for everybody, yourself included. Hans raised the issue of the adequacy of the leach field. And there was some discussion about modifications to the proposal so that the leach field wouldn't have to be expanded. And the question becomes, how do we memorialize that? I didn't really hear what your decision was, if you decided that you wanted to think about it more, or whether you wanted, to reduce the size of the seating, or.
I was just gonna go with his suggestion of using paper cups and plates.
Okay, is that adequate to?
Yeah, they make plastic wine glasses.
Right.
Paper service, most of your stuff is already.
I'll warn you, we had those at our wedding reception, and the bottoms fell out on just about every damn one of them.
I was thinking of the ones without the steps.
Smart. I only ask because we could deal with that as a condition of approval versus requiring the application to be amended.
The downsize is, you cheat and you overuse your septic field and it blows out.
Yeah,
And then you're down, you have no business.
Yeah.
Until you fix it.
that's not good.
The cheese will smell funny. So, the septic field, even though it's not being used by these apartments, it's like a sponge, right? And it's made to hold so much capacity at any one time. Then long matter if you don't use that sponge for a whole year, but that day you use it, it's got one capacity. So, we can go over criteria, I mean, this is. Kind of loose, but. You're real close on your capacity right now.
Okay. And, okay, so, but yeah, that's fine, we can certainly switch to, you know. Throw away glassware and, that's fine. Rather than having to. You know, redo the whole subject.
Yeah, I mean, we can review the numbers tomorrow or at a future time, just make a plan.
Oh.
So you understand as your business. You're not gonna be at full capacity every day from
Right,
the first day,
right,
so as you. Get busier. You need to be aware of the effects. On your own infrastructure.
You know, and that needs to be, you know, that whatever, that should be summarized again at the next meeting.
Well, I think the next meeting we'll have time to review this.
Okay, all right, because then we can deal with it as a condition of approval or. So my suggestion, Sarah, is that tonight, the last thing that needs to be done here is to, as Collins, to send out the notice to the landowners within 500 feet.
So with that. We close the session for the second half again.
Okay, yeah, what's it? You
Or you have any
questions?
questions?
so the next meeting is in 2 weeks.
Mhm.
There's space on the next meeting.
October 4th. Yes, there is.
Second, October second, is it?
Oh, yeah, October 7th,
Second.
so. I believe it's just gonna be the same 3 people.
Uh-huh.
Tyler will be quick, this will be quick, and
Nothing new, huh?
I'm pushing it back.
Alright.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Now, this.
Good evening.
Thanks, you guys too. Nice, there's also.
Amy, do you want me to come by tomorrow
Sure,
with it, or do you wanna come here?
whatever works for you, just you have a certain time that,
Well, if you just come by here in the morning when it's convenient,
okay, no
I'll
problem,
be there all morning.
alright, thank you.
I thought I read in the permission that she paid the fee. That will be returned, that's still being kept.
I guess, whatever's in the ordinance,
Oh,
I mean, is there a fee for?
for amendment, I don't know, I guess so.
Whatever. Go to it.
All right. So next,
Same thing, but it's still a change of,
It's a change of use,
yeah,
yeah.
you know, I mean, I was thinking the same thing, that you pay the fee and we'll be reimbursed, but. Still a change of use, so
that's your call.
going down the check, we just streamlined the
Yeah,
checklist.
that's above our pay grade.
Yeah.
Well, the last change of use they paid. Right?
Which one was that?
You don't know why.
No, no big deal. No big deal. So, next item on agenda tonight. Will be, item C for applicant. Crowley subdivision with Vicky Crowley and Adam Ellis. Location is, Booker Road, map 17. Lot 17G, and the purpose is subdivision preliminary. With that, I open the floor for, Adam.
Did everyone give you copies of the most recent plan or?
Oh, I haven't looked at it yet.
They're all favorable. One thing I noticed, Hans, is that I put the contours on there and I didn't put the elevation on them, so I updated that for the new ones. I had a bunch of lines and it didn't say what the elevations were, so.
Well, always good to see if we catch it.
Yes. Here, let me get that.
Thank you.
This one should be a little easier for you to read.
Where's the elevation lines?
They're. Here. They're pretty light, but yeah.
Right, that's. We'll fill in the file. You need this for reference?
No, I got it pretty safe. So. And I printed up copies of all the deeds for all the lots that are already there. Have you guys received those yet also? One thing I was discussing with Vicky is, we'll probably want to put a turnaround, excuse me, on the west side of lot 1.
Is that down at the bottom of the building?
Yeah,
In the 76 acres.
yep,
The gully's down here.
it's way down there.
Yeah, so it'll be above.
Okay, it'll be
It'll-
at that, but it's the cleared
yeah,
area,
it's
just
already
in
there.
Jen's lot.
We already have room for it.
Yep. We'll just do like a 50 by 50 turnaround there, because there's already an existing road through there.
Yeah.
Oops.
Well, I'm sorry, I didn't quite follow where that might be located.
This isn't fucking.
You said just
Oh, okay.
under Glenberg lot,
Yeah,
but that's for shorties, right?
nope, it's after both of them.
So it's the bottom of the hill.
Yeah.
of Short.
Yeah, it's not quite at the bottom of the hill, but it's on the way down. It would be like. Right over here.
Show me up here. Is this the shorties drive?
Yep.
Yeah, Tim can show you exactly where it is.
So, and this is the bottom of the gully right here, right?
A little further down, yeah, that's the bottom there, so.
So,
Hand
where the hand is,
Yeah.
We see that.
so you cut a circle on. The floor on
Yeah,
it.
we already have it so that we.
Okay.
Circle, you mean
We're probably just do it somewhere.
Just gonna turn around, yep.
Yeah.
I don't think they want circles. No, they don't want those sides.
It's right now, I use a plow truck, I plow that down through there and I turn around right there myself with the vehicle.
So they want tees.
Yeah. Yeah,
I can
because
make
it's
it
too hard to get
better.
around the cul-de-sac. With a fire truck, it's easier for them to pull in and back up.
Yeah.
That's what I had put in with mine, so,
Yeah. Subdivision, it's the same thing.
yeah, they didn't want.
Yeah, every time that I've worked with, they always just want 50 by 52. So.
All the sets are pretty much on New Jersey anymore.
You can see on these, all 3 houses already have septic systems in place. They're already dug, done, complete. And then Jen's house and Charlene's house both have the wells, which are also located on this plan. There's no well on lot 3 yet. But the septic system is already there. There's already houses on, so pretty much everything on the ground is done. We just have to go through the process of getting the approval on this. Are we gonna have a public hearing on this one, do you think?
Not in my opinion.
Okay.
I'll let the others.
Okay. So that's where we are. Right now, we're just in the preliminary stage, correct?
Yep.
Yeah.
So we're moving. These lots down here, the Willie lot, lot 17C, that's not included, right?
Right, just lots 1, 2, and 3. You can see lot 2, I had to make the font a little smaller because there's so much, it's a small lot and there's so much stuff already on the lot, so
There's already a house on that.
there is, yeah.
So lot 3 is the only one without a house.
That's correct, and no well, that's correct, yeah.
And the reason why we can't go minor is because of the acreage.
The size of the lots,
Yeah.
unfortunately, yeah.
Can't take it back.
And there's well over 100 feet between the well and the septic on the two existing ones. Obviously, the well isn't dug on the third one yet, but there's plenty of room to make sure it's far enough away, so. I'll also try and make these contour, they came out really light when I printed these, but I'll make the contour lines a little darker, you know, because I have pretty good eyesight, even with my glasses, I still, they're pretty light. I'll probably remove some of the bearings and distances on some of the lots that aren't part of the subdivision for the final plan, just to clean it up some. But they already exist and they're not really, it's not really, it just makes too much mess on the lot, I think, but it's up to you.
Other than the turnaround for emergency vehicles, do you foresee any additional alterations or construction on the road, or is it just basically as is?
No, I think as is. It's come a long way since when they first, there used to be just a little trail down through there, now it's a nice road going right down through, so.
Sure, out there the other day, right, so you got a pretty good view of
Yeah.
where it goes down.
And they're logging out in the back. So you've got logging trucks. I mean, fully loaded coming in and out. It's compacted.
The Kenny brothers are doing it.
So it's well traveled.
Yeah, Kenny,
Yeah,
Yep,
Kenny Logan.
yep,
it's rough, but it's a solid road.
yeah.
Yeah, they're down below where that turnaround comes. I built the road last summer myself, like with David Stevens' advice. He gave me advice of what to do and what I did, and they've been driving on it. With tractor trailers and everything, and
Yeah.
it's holding up good.
Do you foresee in the
Yeah.
future, are you intending to retain ownership of the road and maintain it, or is there gonna be some kind of association or?
No, I mean,
Maintain.
Okay, good.
We're gonna actually move down below where you saw that turnaround, where that opening is. We're gonna be selling our home, our primary residence, and moving down onto the land. Just downsizing. all
Okay,
this.
so you have vested interest.
Exactly.
So where's your house?
Our house is our house
Yeah,
now,
yeah,
it's right across from where Chardonnay's and Jen's. Is our home. Our home is the shop and the house.
It's all that.
There you go. It's all of this.
it's different.
Right in there.
So what lot are we, so you in your house now?
This is,
This one.
well, this says clearly, this is Vicky's lot right here.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Name right there.
Yeah.
On this map, which one?
That's Charlene.
Okay.
That's Jen, That's
So
Matt,
it's
and we're gonna be down.
the one that has 6 in the circle,
Should be.
but they've also got the piece above it
My
now.
goal is to retire and stop having.
Yep. Yeah, so that's all.
My granddaughter here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, our
Yeah.
youngest son passed away when she was,
So-
so she's like our.
They're gonna sell this
Yeah.
So where's your house?
over here.
Where's your house here? Oh,
Yeah, right now.
Where's your house?
It's.
I don't know.
What is that? Totally
Not
another-
shown.
No,
Oh,
no, because
but
No,
no,
it won't be a division,
Our
we're
house is
building on
right
our own
here.
property, so it's not a division of the building.
But if they're selling that portion of it. You see the map up here? This is all one big skewed lot right now,
Yeah.
the road is the connector.
Yep.
We're gonna sell this piece right up here,
right, exactly.
6,
When you're gonna do that?
Yeah,
I hope next year.
okay? That
you
is
can't wait for 5 years, can you?
Yeah, why do I have to? It's not private subdivision. I've owned that, we've owned that 25 years.
We've actually been in the house for 24 and a half years.
Still taking that parcel and dividing it. That's another division, you know.
Yeah, but we've already got the subdivision, that's not part of it, you've got your. So what's the problem? I don't understand.
Vicky, isn't our lot separate on the deed, separate from the land lot?
That the particular one is its own lot. That our home.
They have separate deeds.
It's
That's a separate
17,
deed.
it's a 17
You
G.
tell me I can't retire next year.
And you're telling
Right.
17 G, 3 G, 1 G 2, I mean. It's all part of 17 G.
It is indeed its own deed. This. Was part of the original division with my brother. This is his piece that he had, and that's all on the home tonight.
Alright, well, George, correct me if I'm wrong, but if we proceed like this. And then they get into the same situation when they sell their lot, we just do a subdivision revision, right?
Yeah,
So we can kick the can down the road, but.
Okay.
Okay, I promise you.
I just don't understand why, if,
Are you billed separately? Are you billed as two separate
Yeah.
lots or is it billed all
no,
as
the
one?
land is all as one,
Okay,
but that has always been a separate lot.
Yeah.
Right from the beginning.
But on the
That's a
tax
separate
map,
lot.
it's part of 17.
I don't know if I can go through that again.
When we sell that, we'll tell you.
Yeah.
so when we get to that point, we could just do an amendment.
Yeah, revision,
this.
it's a short form,
Yeah.
Yeah.
one meeting. One meeting.
Does the board need copies of the septic systems that are already in place and designed? Do they want copies of that paperwork or is it just? things of that? Oh, you already have it, okay.
I think we need to determine if we have a complete application. And if we don't, identify what yet needs to be submitted. What. And what things might be eligible or want to consider. Well, consider requesting a waiver from.
Waivers. Yeah.
I mean, you heard. What we did in the last application, so this is.
Yeah, we're
has some
not so far
similarities.
water, so.
Yeah, you're not near, yeah, you don't have to worry about all that monkey business, but, existing road.
Yeah.
I don't know about abilities and stuff, but
There are utilities all the way down through, as far as Matt's lot,
yeah,
so it will be extended.
there's some similarities there. Yep.
That's just a waiver for the stormwater and plan, a waiver for phosphorus plan, you know. That's what you're gonna wanna ask for,
Okay,
Soil erosion control,
so you
doing a construction of the road.
We don't have a checklist for this
No,
subdivision.
no,
Oh, yeah, it's gotta go by the ordinance in between. So we're gonna go to Article 8, huh?
Sorry,
We're gonna go by Article 8.
Correct.
Division,
yeah,
we
correct.
follow that. Seven. Eight. We skip. Application form. We have an application form for this?
Last week.
No, I don't have, can I have that word first? Thank you. So basically we'll go read through it. And determine what's missing, what's not, isn't it? So,
So it's a full subdivision application or just a minor? It's the only one we have.
Yeah, it's the only one we have.
so we have the application art, and I have my phone from that, what I'm gonna do is gonna read through it, that fair? I'm going to, determine completion. Subdivision name is clearly subdivision, name of the property owner, this is gonna be, for you guys, is gonna be like redundant, but I.
No, that's okay, I'm just gonna take notes of what.
I'm doing all this reading for the public, you know. So name of the property owner is Timothy and Vicky Cluley. And the address is 15 Booker Drive, Belgrade, Maine, 04917. Yeah, name of the another applicant, the applicant is Adam Ellis. And it has the same address as already mentioned. If the applicant is a corporation, check this license here, the answer is no. There's no agent in this application. Name of land surveyor engineer is Adam Ellis. Yeah, that's 2527. Address is 73 Water Street Road in South China, Maine. Person and address to which all correspondence will be going to regarding the application. It would be Kikuli, and we already mentioned her address. What legal interest does the applicant have in the property to develop? Its owner. What interest does the applicant have in any aborted property? It's a house lot, and there is a retained piece of land. A lot of information, location of the property, country registry of deeds is book 9809, page 118. From tax maps, map is 17, lots is 17G, 17G1, 17G3, and 17J. There's a portion of the property within 250 feet from the high water mark of a pond, river, or stream. The answer is no. The acreage to be developed is 22 acres, more or less 4 lots. Indicate the nature of any restrictive covenants to be placed in the deeds. The answer is no. Has the land been part of a prior approved subdivision? No. For other subdivisions within the past 5 years? And the answer to that is yes. Identify assistance uses of land is only residential. Does the parcel include any water bodies? The answer is no. Is any portion of the property within the special flood hazard area as identified by the Federal Management Agency? The answer is no. There's a list of the and mailing address of the avoiding property owners and owners across the road. Names are Robert Seifert Lee. He's in McGrath Pond. Clapperton. He is in Smithville Road. Bessie Development Corporation, as in Hinckley. Maine. Gallagher. McGrath Pond Road. Nutter. McGrath Pond Road. Martin. Booger Drive. Road Roy. McGrath Pond Road. Tyler Roy. McGrath Road. Tracy and Ronald Grover, McGrath Pond Road. Number of lots or units is 4, and the retaining lot. Anticipated date of construction is upon approval. Anticipated date of completion not known. Identified methods of water supply to the proposed development, individual wells. Identify method of sewage disposal to proposed development, individual septic tanks. Identify method of fire protection for the proposed development other police state alternative is fire department, Belgrade. Does the applicant propose to dedicate to the public any roads, recreation or common lands? Roads, no. Recreation areas, no. Common lands, no. Does the applicant intend to request waiver of any of the submissions requirements? And there's just to be determined.
Yeah. Cause we're gonna, what you told us so far, so. Also, we're just doing 3 lots instead of 4. The 4th lot, we're not gonna deal with that right now. The one that's being conveyed to the granddaughter, we'll deal with that in the future.
So that's it. The pre-application sketch plan shall show in simple sketch form the proposed layout of the streets, lots, and other features in relation to the substance conditions. We have that. The sketch plan, which may be a freehand pencil sketch, should be submitted with general information to describe the outline of the existing conditions of the site and proposed development. It is recommended that the sketch plan be superimposed or accompanied by a copy of the assessor map on which land is located. The sketch plan shall be accompanied by a copy of a portion of the USOS topographic map of the area showing the outline of the proposed subdivision, unless the proposed division is less than 10 acres in size. Will sign in July 16th. Any comments or further discussion? So now we move to a vote that is complete.
I have a
Oh,
few
right,
questions,
sure.
if I may. Has the fee been paid?
No, what is the fee? Well, I didn't know what it was, so maybe we'll pay that tonight, but.
So that's part and parcel of the
Sure.
complete application and any covenants or deed restrictions, that's to be determined yet.
Yeah, I don't, you don't have any covenants that.
No, we don't have any governance or restriction.
Okay, we'll need that to have a complete application. And then, a couple other items, and I guess this is a question for the board, whether this is something that could be requested as a waiver to is the county soil map. that has multiple purposes, but certainly one of them is sort of. View from 30,000 square feet as to the suitability of the soils for not only a subdivision, but for wastewater and other, it's erosion.
I think I did I submit that? I think I did originally, I think I gave a copy of that.
Oh, okay, all right, I forgot.
Thing you've given us is on the table,
Okay,
so.
cause I have a book of them and I just photocopied it and
Yeah, no, okay, if you, never mind, I just forgot.
I'll make another one if you
No,
don't.
I just forgot.
Okay,
And then maybe provide this as well, the beginning with habitat map from Inland Fish and Wildlife that also shows the natural areas.
okay,
I think you're gonna find that there are none.
right,
That happen? That's all on our website. You can get.
on the town website? Oh, nice, okay. I'll probably put a logo showing the location, just up in the corner of my final plan also, where it is.
Okay, yep. The who's this? Oh, I'm trying to thought here. One other question, minor question. Are there any culverts along the road? They need to be shown on the drawing.
Oh, this is
Culvert down at the bottom beyond the.
Oh, where it intersects with the McGrath Pond Road?
No, the other way.
Yeah.
Oh, the other direction?
Yeah.
I'm talking within the
No.
subdivision.
No.
Okay,
There's just ditches along them.
yeah, okay. And then those ditches go to the ditch along the McGrath Pond Road then?
Everything flows away from the Grand Pond Road, it's on the back side of the hill,
okay.
so, yeah.
All right.
I got a question.
Right?
Looking at one of the deeds here, main quick deed, mentioned prepared by Vicky Louis 15 Booker Road, Belgrade.
Yes, that's me.
Is that on this map?
Hmm.
Booker Road?
It is
It is
Booker
on the
Road.
road.
Where?
It's Booker Road.
Where-
The whole thing?
where- where this thing is?
Right,
Here.
there were just two.
Yeah, so
houses there.
it runs
Where,
right,
where does it say Booker?
I can write it on here, but yeah, it runs right through all that.
That's Booker Road there.
Yeah.
You may wanna put that in there. You get the deeds, you're referencing it. To this, so,
Actually, it's a good point.
right? Thanks.
Thank you.
So you're looking at waterfowl. Endangered threatened species, right? And the deer. So the only thing you got there is deer.
When I looked at it, the only thing I saw was a deer yard walkways.
Yeah, there's a bog that
Or
runs down
potential
across the
deer
bottom
yard.
end.
Yeah.
I'm sorry?
There's a bog that runs across the bottom end of it, you can see it right there.
Oh, that's,
Right
yeah.
there on that corner, it comes across.
yeah, but that's not in the subdivision.
No.
No. Oh, but that's.
No, it's just outside.
Just for documentation's sake, if we could have a copy of that.
Yeah.
Even if you just print it off there. It's fine. If, there was significant wildlife habitat, that would, raise all kinds of issues. Be in consultation with the regional biologist and all that
Yeah.
kind of stuff. But I don't have anything myself, so there are a few things before we can decide we have that we'll need before we have complete application. But I think we could move ahead, between now and the next meeting with notifying the landowners within 500 feet. Get that out of the way.
Is that something I do or
No, it's our responsibility.
Windsor makes me do it for,
Oh, it's all right. Well, that's kind of old school, isn't it?
Those certified letters are $10 a piece and I have to send out 30 sometimes. And
Yeah,
it's
no.
just like,
No.
thank you.
Welcome. So, with that, then, we're tabling this, completing this for the
I
next.
think so, unless you have additional questions for us, or anything, points of confusion.
Just whatever the fee is.
So. Major is what, $300 plus $6 per lot.
$50 per lot.
So $450.
450.
I got a quick question. Who's DSD, the surveying entity, that's you?
Yep.
You're Adam?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I haven't signed or sealed any of these plans yet since they're not final.
Yeah.
I don't like having my plans floating around and seeing.
Yeah.
This,
This is sort of looking ahead to when you get to the final. And you saw this come up in the last subdivision as well. I mean, you have down a place for conditions of
Right.
approval. They're just probably not gonna be big enough, you know?
yeah.
So
you wanna
yeah.
make that a little bigger block?
Well, yeah, see. I don't know if you picked up on this, but so there'll be two standard conditions of approval that go on all subdivisions that are. If you look at our ordinance, they're listed on page 43, Article 10.
Thank you.
So at a minimum, you're gonna have to have enough space for those two. And hopefully nothing else, but you know, I don't know for sure.
Okay, so I'll just move that up into this area and just blow it out.
Yeah, just so you, as you're working on this.
Yeah.
So kind of more of a heads up than anything else.
Got it.
I don't know how other towns deal with it, but.
Hmm. Any other comments, questions? We had, entertain motion to table, yeah, we.
I'll make a motion to table. Application for the Cloete subdivision.
Second, any further discussion? Are we voting? Mr. Carl?
Yes.
Mr. Surgeon?
Yes.
Mr. Seal?
Yes.
Mr. Alexander? And Mr. Long is yes, so 5 in favor, no opposed, motion carries. So we'll see you in 2 weeks. No, that's yours.
Well, I wondered,
I would have notes for this. Right, maybe it's, you know. Oh, okay. Thank you. I know all of these are these done.
We're good today, right?
Yeah,
All right, thank you all very much.
yeah, thank you.
good evening.
Thank you. Easy for the call. Thanks, too. Good night. Good night.
Right,
Good night.
Since I was wondering, I come in later, if not.
Good night, guys.
Thank you. Go on.
right, next item and the agenda. Is. What's on the bridge, man?
Pesticide, fertilizer, ordinance.
What's that, Rich?
I said that the agenda, next thing is old business,
Oh, business.
pesticide, fertilizer.
Or do we, maybe we turn old business into older business?
So, it's 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
Can we, table all business and the minutes for the next meeting? So all we have,
Next meeting's gonna be pretty quick anyways, cause a lot of that legwork is done, right? Yeah. With all them.
you guys feel comfortable with that? You guys wanna do?
Yeah, no, that's fine, whatever.
Yes, sir, copies of the minutes.
Yeah, yeah. I put mine in the bag.
I do have a question, though. Are we gonna, not tonight, but at some point, talk about how we're gonna move forward with the minutes? You know, was an email exchange about the use of the AI generated minutes, which I found a lot of flaws with, errors and the like, cause I was asked to review it by Lorna. And I don't know, Penny, whether you really wanna keep doing these minutes or not. There was the question that Nick raised also about why do we have written minutes anymore? And couldn't we just post the YouTube video to the town website and have
That's
that as
been
our
done
official,
already.
official record?
Mhm.
That's fine with me, and it's already been done. No, it isn't on the website.
No, but it is being recorded
Yeah.
and it's, and unlike the AI ones, it has a record of our votes.
Right.
And discussion. That was one of my major beefs with the AI, that it didn't even record the votes.
Right.
Do you want me to do these, or do you just wanna do it for some?
Well, I'm
Would
just
that be a
suggesting we
vote?
have
Would that
a
be a
schedule
vote?
and a discussion.
Yeah.
Who would change that to, like, let's say we said that the video, the live stream is sufficient, like sufficient, who, that'd be a vote from us, or would that have to go in front of?
Well, that's a really good question, because
That's
it
okay.
almost seems like something the select board should weigh in
Yeah.
on. Because I think they're having a similar discussion, but that's more rumor than, I don't know. But I've heard.
I think almost by law, I think we have to have meetings.
Yes, and again, the protocol.
Well, we still wouldn't have minutes, it would just be a different, it'd be a video minutes. Recording that, you know.
Well, the minutes, I think by definition, are synopsis of the meeting.
Yeah, you have to record the votes. Important things is to have recorded the motions and the votes.
And the video is not flawless. There are times when you can't hear what somebody's saying, Penny has difficulties even just getting people's names. They put them online, viewers isn't always picked up on the.
Yeah,
video.
maybe they could add to the, you know, subtitle, you know.
But I think first we gotta check to see what the requirements are from the municipal association.
I agree. I think, with the advancement of technology, I think those state law requirements have sort of, adapted a little bit, so I think it'd be worth looking at.
Coming up, either that's gonna
See.
change,
What-
or AI is gonna get very good about making the motions and, is this AI reports, Nick, it's 30 seconds.
Yeah.
You tell the AI, look at this video and you need minutes with motions.
Oh, I know, I was telling her tonight, I'm the secretary of the cemetery committee, and I just hit record, and I recorded, we sit around and talk, or we walk. I go home, copy paste, hey, go to Grok, it writes all the minutes for me. I have to go and take things out, because like people are yapping,
Oh, yeah.
like talking about other people, and it puts it right in the minute. So I gotta make sure I read, I don't just sit
So-
there and I.
That's
read,
interesting,
take things
because
out.
what we've been using is the AI of the owl. Maybe Grok will do it better.
Well, I was showing
That's
her
all I
like,
got.
the- you know, as long as the owl, gets the transcription correct. You can just copy and paste the whole transcribe of the whole meeting and then put it in Grok and say, write me minutes for the, you know, planning board, the date, and it lays it all out in 3 seconds.
Is that a form of AI?
Yeah, it's X, it's Elon Musk's AI.
Oh, okay.
I have Super Grok, so I pay for, it's a super.
Bigger?
Grok, yeah.
I have no idea what software
What do you
right now.
That,
Yeah, Super Grok.
yeah.
There do I.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I can, if somebody can email me something and I can just copy and paste the email and say, give me a response to this email. And tell it what I want, generally what I'm thinking, and it'll just write me an email.
Oh, so you don't answer to emails anymore? Wow.
But it's not, I don't know how great it is, you don't think it, you know, you don't have to think anymore. But, you know, it has its benefits or what. I personally like to, write.
How much is super truck?
I think it's like $19 a month or something.
That's pretty good.
I don't know, maybe not even that much, $15 a month.
Imagine I have like 50 emails a day, so I said super rocks, answer, boom.
Yeah.
So 1 minute.
The kids using that for their homework?
Oh, yeah, you could tell, write a book report, an original book report on this book, and in 3 seconds, it'll give
There
you.
is- you can tell-
Original.
Yeah,
So
All
Anthony's Coast,
This,
no, well, you can go to the fact, you can say, what level grade? You can say
yeah,
it-
right,
Grade, three
Right,
grade
right,
level
yeah.
report or a senior yet level report.
yeah,
And
you
you-
could put a couple typos in there, or put some typos in there, punctuation mistakes, put a bunch of in. But then you can take someone's book report, put it into that and say, did AI write this? And they'll tell you, yes, that's AI. I mean, so it's like, the teachers can then use it to see if the kids are using it.
Amazing.
Yeah,
It's still
it's
good, I
pretty
can
wild.
text.
Yeah.
So I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Where's the ice cream? I wanna know.
Yeah, what's found that?
Or we can talk about that afterwards.
Yeah, I make a motion to adjourn.
Who's second it?
As he's getting up.
Second.
Okay, a motion to adjourn from Mr. Sakara and second by Mrs. Seal, voting. Mr. Sakara.
Yes.
Mr. Surgeon.
Yeah.
Mr. Seal.
Yep.
Mr. Alexander. And Mr. Langes, I say yes, and we're